McGree, right to challenge, gets into the area left-hand side, clips it over the head of Akpom. It's hit too firmly, the cross by the Australian, and Coventry will have a throw left-hand side, level with the edge of their own penalty area. In the WSL tonight, just to let you know, well, Adrian would want you to know, Arsenal won 4-1 at Everton to keep their title hopes alive in the WSL.
Good to hear, yeah, impressive that.
And West Ham and Chelsea are currently 0-0 in the 8:15 kick-off in the WSL.
But it's bold to leave Gyökeres up top because he's a big lad, isn't he? He's 6'2". He can add something when defending set plays. But I think the thinking behind it is that when we clear it, we want someone to clear it to. And he is so quick across the ground. He can make things happen out of nothing, really, Gyökeres.
I can't think of the last time I saw a team that left two up for a corner in any match.
Yeah, it's very much not in vogue, but it's a bold move. It's a little bit game of cat and mouse, isn't it, between Mark Robins and Michael Carrick. He's just testing the water. He's saying, are you going to keep three back or not?
Both with Manchester United connections, of course. Robins and Carrick played at different times. Yeah. Robins alleged to have saved Sir Alex Ferguson's managerial career with an FA Cup goal late on. Carrick, who pretty much won everything there was to win. Here's Tommy Smith for Middlesbrough at 0-0. We've played 28 minutes on TalkSport 2, and the Middlesbrough right back wriggles clear of Ben Sheaf. Force gets tackled very strongly by Liam Kelly, but he's given it away. Akpom just slips on the greasy surface, but that invited another challenge from Kelly that's given us a free kick by David Coote. So Middlesbrough have a free kick about 30 yards out to the right of centre. 0-0.
Yeah, it is a foul from Kelly, no doubt about that. It comes from his loose pass. We've seen a few loose passes, haven't we? I think from both teams, particularly from Coventry. Middlesbrough pretty aggressive when they haven't got the ball, looking to win it back very quickly, and they're just forcing errors from the visitors.
Well, we've seen Alex Mowat in his Barnsley and his West Brom days, who
he can hit them from here.
He likes a long-range strike, and he's the one stood over this free kick. There's a two-man Coventry wall set up just to the left of the D. Middlesbrough and Coventry players lining up the edge of the area. Mowat just teases it into the box, drops on the penalty spot. McGree tries to drive it goalwards, and it's hooked away by the Coventry defence up to halfway. Gyökeres showing good strength, rolls one man. He's running at two Middlesbrough defenders, and Tommy Smith, one of them, gets in front of him and clears it out for a throw. 0-0.
Yeah, look, there's Coventry in a snapshot. 1 minute they're defending, boom, the next Gyökeres is running 1v1 against the defender. He backs into Giles, he rolls him, but he can't then get around Tommy Smith, who's there on the cover. So, and that's why they leave him up from those corners, because he's such a threat on the counter.
Good skill from Brooke Norton-Cuffy on the right hand side, dropped his shoulder and started a run down that right channel. He's now level with the area, wriggles inside a couple of challenges. It's now with Gyökeres, teases it down the right hand side of the box. Norton-Cuffy knows he's offside, went for it anyway, sort of playing chicken with the linesman, who did put his flag up eventually. It's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Half an hour gone, 0-0 on TalkSport 2. Adrian Clark.
Yeah, very much even Steven still, isn't it? I can't tell you who's going to win this tie.
I couldn't tell you when we got here. I'm no closer to knowing now.
They're so evenly matched. Yes, it's contrasting styles, but both carry a threat, don't they, in and around the final third, and as they should. They've got the top two leading goal scorers in the division here in Akpom and Gyökeres, and you've also got Cameron Archer, who scored goals at a faster rate than anybody else in the championship. So we've got so much goal power, and it's what's going on in between that has been so evenly contested up until this point, not just tonight but across that first leg too.
Middlesbrough with excellent home form under Michael Carrick, only lost once as they win a free kick. Archer's bundled over by McFadzean. Fans want a yellow card to be issued to the Coventry number 5. Nothing doing on that score, says David Coote. But yeah, only one defeat at home since Michael Carrick took over, and that was against the champions Burnley, whilst Coventry haven't lost away since February the 3rd at West Bromwich Albion.
It's amazing. Coventry with the momentum team, weren't they, coming into the playoffs? Such a good run for them. They absolutely deserved their place. They came with that late run, and
McFadzean there again.
He's been very good, hasn't he?
Stick his foot in to get in front of Cameron Archer, but the ball on halfway is robbed by Darragh Lenihan, the Middlesbrough captain. Plays it out to the left-hand side. And now he gets it back from Riley McGree, gets a shout of man on as Gustavo Hamer closes in on him. Now Middlesbrough work the ball from left to right, just inside the Coventry half of the field. 0-0 if you're just tuning into TalkSport 2 for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. No closer to knowing which of these two sides, Middlesbrough or Coventry City, are going to be lining up against Luton Town at Wembley in the Championship playoff final, which will be live on TalkSport over Whitsun Bank Holiday weekend. Alex Mowat for Middlesbrough finds McGree in a bit of space inside left channel, drives to the left hand corner of the box, puts the cross in, headed away this time for Coventry by McSpadden again, and Gyökeres looks to challenge McNair, fouls him, free kick, and again the Middlesbrough fans bay for a caution, which does not come from the top pocket of David Coote. Instead it's just a free kick to Middlesbrough, 0-0.
Yeah, 17 v 17. It's some battle, isn't it? Paddy McNair and Victor Gyökeres, two very committed players. Gyökeres will never give a defender a moment's peace, but I've got to say, so far across these two legs, McNair's been up to it.
Akpom is fouled again by Callum Doyle this time, and Callum Doyle has finally overstepped the mark, and the totting up procedure, as indicated by David Coote, shows that the Coventry City number 3 goes into his notebook alongside Tommy Smith. One booking apiece, but no goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's harsh. I mean, it's just a collision, isn't it? I mean, for me, that's not a yellow, it's a foul.
But he indicated totting up procedure.
Yeah, but from Doyle or the whole team? Because it's not Doyle's fault, is it? If everyone else has been fouling. I think that's a little bit harsh. And it's look, you get this. It's a crowd-pleasing decision, that.
Free kick is just ahead of the centre circle for Middlesbrough. 12 minutes to half-time on TalkSport 2. McNair collects the ball short, crosses into the box. It's headed out by McNally. Knew he had Riley McGree just behind him. Giles recycles the ball back into the box, and it just skims off the head of Chuba Akpom and goes behind for a goal kick. It's never really a gilt-edged scoring chance. The ball was almost behind Akpom before he could try and twist his neck muscles. It's a goal kick. It's 0-0.
Yeah, well, Giles' left foot feels like it's going to be a big player tonight. Already we've seen 2 or 3 brilliant crosses from him. This is another. And I think Akpom just goes a little bit early, actually. If he holds his run back, he can maybe attack that. He gets ahead of the ball and it drifts out for a goal kick in the end. But that left back from Middlesbrough has got an absolute wand of a left peg.
Ben Wilson's goal kick, chested into the path of Hamer by Gyökeres, plays it through to Allen, couldn't get the shot away because of brilliant covering defending by Ryan Giles. Sensational defending coming across from the full-back when Jamie Allen looked certain to at least get a shot on target.
Yeah, that's superb cover play, isn't it? Because Allen's in. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Jamie Allen from central midfield. Who's going to go with him? He runs between defenders, the touch isn't the best, and it just allows Giles that extra little bit of time to get back in and make the challenge on the cover. But for me, Allen is a real danger and a real threat to Middlesbrough when he arrives late into the box.
Over 100 appearances since he joined from Burton Albion. Jamie Allen began his career at Rochdale, who are no longer members of the EFL. One of these two sides won't be a member of the EFL come next weekend.
I've done my own totting up dance.
Go on then.
I've done my own totting up procedure, and yes, 6 fouls from Coventry, 1 per player.
Okay.
Callum Doyle's unlucky there, very unlucky. It's his first foul.
Hamer for Coventry fires the ball back into his own half. Hassan McNally to trot back 20 yards or so to receive possession, and he'll go back to Ben Wilson, the keeper. 20 clean sheets in the regular season since his recall at the end of August. He didn't start the season as first choice for Mark Robbins, but what a terrific job he's done between the posts. Here is Jamie Allen once again, who just had that half chance inside the area. Bidwell finds Sheaf, who goes back to the halfway line for Coventry, and Callum Doyle. Middlesbrough pushing up, just trying to force Coventry into playing it long. Sheaf on halfway, does play it long, down the left channel. Bidwell's got him behind Smith for a moment. He's onside, gets to the dead ball and doesn't wrap his foot round it enough. Didn't get to the ball quickly enough for me, and it goes behind for a Middlesbrough goal kick, 0-0.
Completely agree. completely agree, Dan. He's got to make more of an effort to get there than get the ball under control. On a night like tonight, the pitch was heavily watered ahead of kick-off. It's always going to skid on, and yeah, that would have been a very special cross for him to get it accurately in the box on the run. But it was a lovely ball from Sheaf, and that's what we're seeing from this box midfield. You get guys like Sheaf just pull out to the wide areas and just to offer something a little bit different.
Tommy Smith for Middlesbrough plays the ball to this near touchline. Right in front of Michael Carrick is Marcus Force. Akpom, good quick feet from him, and Tommy Smith now moving into the Coventry half, trying to feed it infield. It actually came back to him off Jake Bidwell, who couldn't control the interception. Now it's with Hayden Hackney, this young player who's made a real breakthrough this season at Middlesbrough. Out to Giles on the left hand side, whips across in, and Bidwell, under no real pressure, doesn't quite concede a corner, ends up being a throw right by the corner flag on Middlesbrough's right hand side, 0-0.
I think he did the right thing there. I mean, it's out for a throw in. If you don't know what's behind you, you can't take a risk, can you? And he just flicks it there, out for a throw in, but it's another Giles cross causing a problem.
2-0 for Manchester City over on TalkSport against Real Madrid. A second for Bernardo Silva as well on the night. You've got the TalkSport app downloaded. You can swipe easily between our two commentaries this evening. Here on TalkSport 2, our concentration is firmly on this playoff semi-final. Middlesbrough coming forward. Akpom trying to make a nuisance of himself at the edge of the 6-yard box. Goes down under pressure from McNally. Claim for a penalty kick, very quickly waved away by David Coote. Adrian Clark.
Oh, he stayed strong, didn't he, McNally there? He had to. Ball comes in from the right this time, and he hangs in the air, Tuber Akpom. Gets something on the ball, then it drops in between him and McNally, who just basically gets he shields Akpom away from the ball and shepherds it back to his goalkeeper. But yeah, that was a challenging moment for the centre half.
Middlesbrough in possession. Akpom again chops a lovely pass out to this near side, the right, and Smith. Now Force works the ball back infield to Mowat, just ahead of the halfway line, drives into the centre of the half, plays the ball left to McGree. Good move this from Middlesbrough. McGree gets to the left hand corner of the box, faced up by his opposite number, Jamie Allen. Now Giles takes over, drives for the byline, chips the cross to the far post. It might drop for Marcus Force, chests it down, tries to drive it goalwards, and flying into the challenge was Jake Bidwell, and it goes out of play for a throw in the end on this near side, 0-0.
Well, talk about making amends for your initial error. It's another Giles cross. I mean, he is making hay over on that far left hand side. It's a really bad misjudgment from Bidwell, but his reaction's great. He sprints out to make a block on the strike from Marcus Force. Brilliant from him.
Alex Mowat takes over for Middlesbrough, right hand side, sweeps across in, volleyed away for Coventry. Yeah, Jake Bidwell got caught underneath that header that allowed Force to chest the ball down. Middlesbrough trying to turn the screw a little. Archer's had a quiet opening half, but he's got the ball now. Left hand corner of the Coventry penalty area, goes out left. Giles lets the ball go out of play for a throw in. About 10 yards from the corner flag on the far side, in front of those Coventry fans, 2,000 or so of whom have travelled up from the Midlands to take their place in the southeast corner. Here at the Riverside Stadium, with 5 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half on TalkSport 2, 0-0. Middlesbrough put a cross into the box. McFadzean inevitably heads it clear, driven up to Gyökeres in the centre circle. Oh, he rolled McNair brilliantly, who fouled him. This is going to be a yellow card for Paddy McNair, because Gyökeres turned him so sweetly inside the centre circle, and McNair took one for the team there and gets a yellow card.
Well, I wouldn't want to mark Victor Gyökeres. I'm just putting it out there. He's just a live wire, isn't he? He's a box of tricks. It's a beautiful dummy. Lets the ball go between his legs, and it goes through McNair's legs, and he knows it, and then he puts it in the block. It's a definite yellow. He knows exactly what he's doing, Paddy McNair, and that puts him in a very difficult position, because as we've seen up until this point, right across the two games, McNair wants to get tight, wants to be aggressive with Gyökeres. Well, now he's got to be super careful.
So 3 yellow cards been issued in this first half. 2 to Middlesbrough players in Smith and McNair, and 1 to Doyle for Coventry. And we're into the last 4 minutes of this opening half on TalkSport 2. 0-0 on the night, and it was 0-0 from the first leg, so we still await the first goal in this semi-final. Norton Cuffy wrestles for possession with McGree, wins it quite comfortably, looks for Gyökeres for the long ball up to halfway, but Gyökeres saw the ball fly over his head. Said he didn't feel the love at Brighton, which is why he enjoyed the loan spell at Coventry, which of course then turned into this permanent deal.
Yeah, well, he didn't. I'm not surprised he didn't feel the love. He didn't play, did he?
No.
I don't think so. Look, Brighton have had so many good players in recent seasons that I suppose some are going to slip through the net, aren't they? When they don't give them the game time, they will move on.
You get that at all Premier League clubs because of the sheer size of these academies.
Exactly. And
you'll have seen that Arsenal, Josh De Silva, there's a great example.
There are loads of examples, loads. So you'll always get a player that sort of makes you look foolish for letting them go, but it's often better for that player to move on to a different club, somewhere where they do feel loved.
It's Adrian Clark alongside me, Ian Danter at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough carrying the greater threat, certainly with a greater amount of possession in this first half. Well over 2/3 of the ball, Adrian Clark.
Well, I'm not surprised about that, but they have marginally been the better side. Giles against Norton Cuffy at the moment is one-way traffic. It's all Giles.
Oh, McGree, lovely turn at the edge of the area. Just couldn't wriggle clear of another Coventry defender. Hackney wins a strong header in the middle of the Coventry half. It's worked back to Smith. Now Mowat, 30 yards out, quite central. Again, plenty of sky blue shirts around him, but they're keeping possession well in these tight areas, Middlesbrough. Now slid down the left-hand side, but overhit by Lennon. Idea was right, trying to release McGree down the left-hand side of the box, but ball just fizzed out of play for a goal kick to Coventry as we edge towards half-time on TalkSport 2. The game is still goalless.
It is. I think what you see, one of the differences between these two sides is that Gyökeres wants to run in behind. Okay, he's got blistering pace. He offers that real speed. Now Borough have got quick strikers. Archer's no slouch. Akpom's pretty quick. But a lot of the football is in front, isn't it, of Coventry? And I think that's why they've been able to keep them at bay so far. The real penetration is coming from Giles on that far side, where he's basically outplaying Norton Cuffy at the moment. I think if I'm Mark Robbins, I'm looking at Fankati Dabo on the bench and thinking, you know what, I might make a change here.
Now Cameron Archer's been taken out by Luke McNally down the Middlesbrough left, but it's just a warning for Luke McNally rather than another yellow card to be issued by David Cooper. And it does give Middlesbrough a chance to get the ball into the Coventry box with a free kick, only about 15 yards inside the Coventry half of the field on the far left-hand side for Borough.
Well, it's no different, was it, to the Callum Doyle booking? I know I keep banging on about it, but it's just...
No, you barely mentioned it.
It's exactly the same foul, but we don't get exactly the same decision. It just drives me nuts. But Coventry... Coventry probably are giving away too many of these, and Middlesbrough sooner or later might profit from one of these free kicks.
Well, let's see what happens with this free kick. Coventry holding a very high line, 25 yards out. There's one or two Middlesbrough players standing in offside positions, specifically Akpom and Archer. It's rolled back to Ryan Giles near the halfway line, plays it infield to Hackney, who's got a bit of space, hits a diagonal ball to the right hand corner of the box, Lingiver Force, who was clambering with Bidwell, and they both go to ground. Bit of a wrestling match going on, and they give each other a bit of a stare out as they walk away, as we move into 3 minutes of added time, and David Coote steps in between them to say, cut it out, lads. Free kick to Coventry, 0-0.
Well, I think Force is frustrated because it's really good defending. What you do in those situations, the ball's coming over your head, you feel the player, as I'm backing into you.
Don't bruise me like Chris Iwelumo did on Sunday. I'm still in traction from having him thumping me across the chest.
I would not want that off Big Chris, that is for sure. But he just backs in, doesn't he, Bidwell? He feels where Force is and basically pins him, and he can't jump, he can't do anything, and that's why he lashes out.
Goal kick to Coventry City. We're in that 3 minutes of added time now on TalkSport 2 at the end of this first half. Championship playoff finals. Luton against who? Middlesbrough or Coventry City? And a poor touch from Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, as the ball was played back to him down the left-hand side of his penalty area. He shanked it out of play for a throw, much to the delight of the home fans, and the throw is Middlesbrough's, level with the edge of the penalty area, down this near side, the Middlesbrough right, as they continue to attack the south stand in this first half. Touch back to McGree by Smith. work back down the line towards the halfway line for a moment. Now Hackney driving towards the edge of the area, finds Force, right hand corner of the box, might break for Hackney again. Archer couldn't get a shot away, brilliant defending. Akpom can't get to the follow-up, and Norton Cuffy will bring it away for Coventry City. Now the ball's rolled up to Gyökeres on halfway, touches it down for Hamer. Hamer looks long to get Allen in behind McNair. Very calm header from McNair to find his captain Lenihan out on the far side. He chips it downfield. McGree can't win it, and now Coventry have got a chance late in the half. Good turn from Sheaf, finds Allen. Gyökeres finds Sheaf again, approaching the right-hand corner of the box. Norton Cuffy takes over, 3 in the box waiting for a cross. It's worked back infield to Liam Kelly. Bidwell wants it now, you can see him calling for it. The left-hand corner of the area. Hamer out to McNally. Back infield it goes to Gustavo Hamer. Norton Cuffy takes over in the right wing position, being forced away from the box by Giles, but a lovely ball finds Sheaf. Sheaf across for Gyökeres. Oh, he tried to tee it up for Bidwell, but got it all wrong. And now Middlesbrough will counter. Marcus Force charging down the inside right, finds out Archer getting into the edge of the area, right hand side, and across comes McFadzean. And Force was taken out by Gustavo Hamer at the start of that move, and Hamer gets a yellow card for his trouble. And at the end of it all, it's a corner kick as we get to the end of the minimum 3 minutes. 0-0. Middlesbrough have that corner at the south stand end.
Well, it was a definite yellow card from Hamer. I mean, he did wipe him out, but what good defending again from Carl McFadzean. Absolutely outstanding first 45 minutes he's had at the heart of this Coventry back three. That was magnificent.
He's got to have had more touches than anybody else in this first half.
He's been busy
into that sort of thing. Mowat with a corner for Middlesbrough right on half time. Onto the 6-yard line, headed goalwards by Darragh Lenihan, but actually a very comfortable save for Ben Wilson, and that brings the first half to a close as David Coote blows his whistle for half time. Still no goals in this Championship playoff semi-final, still no closer to knowing who plays Luton at Wembley. But again, the clues are there. Middlesbrough looking a little more confident in possession. They've had some great chances. Ryan Giles fizzing a ball across the face of goal early on, but sensational defending from Callum Doyle to keep it away from goal rather than turn it into his own net. A poor back pass from Tommy Smith allowed Victor Gyökeres in early on at the other end for Coventry, but Zach Steffen stuck out a right glove and kept it away from the Swedish striker, and it's been nip and tuck ever since then. Penalties loom large. Another 45 minutes of this, and then extra time, and possibly penalty kicks at the break. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 0.
Dan, thank you. Over on TalkSport half-time, Manchester City at the Etihad holding control in their Champions League semi-final second leg of Real Madrid. 2 goals from Bernardo Silva. Toni Kroos slammed the woodwork. 3-1 though, they lead on aggregate. Pep Guardiola's side. Here on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. So much still at play. I have thoroughly enjoyed that. Graham Courtney, our TalkSport colleague, said, not seen it this full for a while. It's louder at the Riverside Stadium. I'll leave Dan to do the impression. After 3 halves of this 2-legged tie in the Championship playoffs, we still don't know who will be facing Luton Town at Wembley. On TalkSport in the final at the end of this month, Borough started sharp, started fast. The tempo, the ebb and flow throughout that first period, Adrian Clark, you can't take your eyes off it. And Ryan Giles roaming down that left side, they cannot deal with him.
No, they can't at the moment. I think he's been a real standout for Middlesbrough in that first half. They have been the better side. We know that they play good football, we know they look after the ball, but I think in this sort of environment where it's so heated, it's such a red hot atmosphere, I think they've actually been really calm in possession. They've looked after it well, and they've identified a weakness. I think Norton Cuffy, they think that Giles can get round the back of him, or they can slide passes in behind him, and they have.
Yeah, it's proved correct, isn't it?
And you know that Ryan Giles, you just look at the number of assists he produces over the course of a season, you know he'll put quality into the box. It's going to take one, and at the moment he hasn't found that one killer pass or killer cross for an Akpom or an Archer, but you sense it might be coming.
Coventry back three standing firm though, and Mark Robins' side grew slightly more comfortable as the first half ticked by. They certainly had half opportunities themselves. The best opportunity falling to their top scorer, Victor Gyökeres, as he tried to round Zach Steffen, the goalkeeper, after the Tommy Smith back pass.
I think he should score. It's a really bad back pass. He doesn't look, and he just plays him in. And I just think a player of Gyökeres's quality can just open up his body there and just curl it far corner. But he decides to go round Steffen, and Steffen has got very long levers, and we saw them, didn't we? He was like Inspector Gadget there. He just came out and extended it, didn't he? It was a brilliant stop. But I think that the percentage play would have been to try and clip it over the goalkeeper. But the chance came and went in the blink of an eye, didn't it? You have to think so quickly.
Paddy McNair against Victor Gyökeres. It is a titanic battle. It's a great watch.
I've loved it. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing physicality as well. In the Premier League, often you don't get it because players got so much respect and the referees are on you. This is old school. This is a centre half and a centre forward just going at
slugging
it.
Out.
Yeah, they're slugging it out. That's the right phrase.
They're in the book though, and now he walks the proverbial tightrope, doesn't he?
And he's in the book because Gyökeres is clever. He's a really smart player, and he knew exactly what he was doing there. He didn't believe that he was going to get on the end of his own dummy, but he knew he'd get taken out, and that might prove pivotal because McNair has to really tread carefully. If there's one player you struggle to tread carefully against, it is Gyökeres, because you want to stop him at source, because if he gets going, he's gone, and he's so quick, so lethal in front of goal. So yeah, keep your eye on that duel in the second half. It's been thrilling. What I can't believe is that we've had these 2.5 games, so effectively we had 5 halves of football. We've had 4 blanks out of those 5 halves. You know, the 2 goals in the league game came in one half, and the next 4 halves that have followed have all been goalless. And we've got the best strike forces in the division here. It's madness, really.
There's lots going on, so I thought I'd give you a helping hand and take over Chuba Akpom watch after he got that blow to the knee. And often, guys, you see a player rolling around, writhing around, you think they're okay, get up, wasting time, feigning injury, trying to take the sting out of the action. Akpom laid there, looked in real discomfort, and it took him a while to get going again, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
He's not really had, since that incident, a massive impact in the game, has he?
He hasn't, but I don't think it's troubling him that much. I think he'd stopped limping. I think his movement was good. He didn't back out of tackles. I think he's okay. I can only presume it was more of an impact injury than some kind of twist for Chuba Akpom. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just looking at a replay of the Gyökeres chance now. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. There isn't a lot of time here. He'd have to hit this left-footed over the goalkeeper first time. He opts to go round him, and the keeper does ever so well. I think that, look, I'm a left-footer, so my instinct there would be to clip it over the goalie first time. Gyökeres hesitated, and that's why the keeper had the chance to smother it away.
Fascinating, brilliant in the playoffs, in the Championship, as we've learned to expect here on your home of the EFL Talk Sport 2. Second half to come shortly. Goalless on the night, still goalless in the tie. Half time, Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 0.
EFL Live on Talk Sport 2 with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
The Sun Super Days is off to Thorpe Park Resort with over 30 rides, attractions and live events, including Stealth. And new for 2023, Ghost Train, with terror guaranteed. Get 2 free tickets worth over £120 when you collect codes inside the Sun. Pick up the Sun this Saturday to start collecting. T's and C's and booking fee apply.
At British Gas, we get on with the job at hand. With over 6,500 engineers nationwide fixing, servicing, installing, upgrading, we're rolling up our sleeves to keep over 10 million homes and businesses running efficiently. And we're not stopping there. We're hiring a new apprentice every single day until the end of the decade to power the skills of the future. That's enough talking. Let's get on with the doing. British Gas.
At Myra, we believe your bathroom should be your sanctuary. So we bring together thoughtful design with forward-thinking product innovation and service that's always there to make your space as special as it should be. Myra Showers. Make your bathroom your room.
The Brewdog Gold Can is back find one and win £5,000 cash. And this time we're staying on the right side of advertising standards and all those angry people online. Find a gold-plated can that's gold-plated, not solid gold, specifically in the multi-packs that are part of this promotion, and you'll win £5,000 cash. It's not a literal bag of change, but it's £5,000 and it will be yours, as will the can. That, I repeat, is not solid gold, but gold-plated. I think underneath it's brass or something, but don't quote me on that. Find the gold can, gold-plated, sorry. Find one of those and win £5,000, okay? Terms and conditions apply.
Game night on TalkSport with Car Finance 24/7. From goals by the gallon at Goodison to supersonic screamers at Spurs. From traffic-stopping saves at St James's to classic bangers in the back of the net at Bournemouth. No one gets you closer to the action of the Premier League. Around the grounds, around the games, around the clock. Monday is game night on TalkSport with Car Finance 24/7. They'll take care of the money stuff so you can focus on finding your dream car. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Represented APR 19.9%. Car Finance 24/7 is a credit broker, not a lender.
Women's Football Weekly with Faye Carruthers on the station that's raising the game for women's football. TalkSport 2.
She kills it, and that is an outstanding goal.
Hands-on with big-name interviews and analysis with all the latest news in the women's game.
It was a very tight game, but I think they deserved the win in the end.
Exclusive interviews and instant fan reaction throughout the entire season.
The goal to the good, and then it all just kind of fell apart towards the end.
With Faye Carruthers and leading guests from the world of women's football.
Former Tottenham Hotspur women captain Jenna Scalacci. How are you doing, Jenna?
I'm good, thank you. Good to be back.
Women's Football Weekly, Monday night from 7 on TalkSport 2, the home for women's football.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker.
What a goal!
The EFL Playoffs, live on TalkSport
2. We're at 0-0 as we kick off in this second leg for the right to face Luton at Wembley in the Championship playoff final. Oh, poor back pass. Gyökeres is in behind. Great goalkeeping, Zach Steffen.
Oh, Tommy Smith. What are you doing?
Ben Wilson's goal kick. Chested into the path of Hamer by Gyökeres. Plays it through to Allen. Couldn't get the shot away because of brilliant covering defending by Ryan Giles.
I came here with Arsenal in 95, 96. Was on the bench that day, and yeah, it was a pretty new stadium.
What do you mean you were on the bench that day?
I mean, I was normally on the bench, to be fair.
Thank you. Mowat just teases it into the box, drops on the penalty spot. McGree tries to drive it goalwards, and it's hooked away onto the 6-yard line, headed goalwards by Darragh Lenihan, but actually a very comfortable save for Ben Wilson, and that brings the first half to a close as David Coote blows his whistle. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 0.
A tie still there for the taking then on Teesside, still 0-0 in this semi-final playoff face-off between Borough and Coventry. Second half to come shortly with Ian Danter and Adrian Clark here on your home, the EFL TalkSport 2. I'm your host, Dan Wood. We appreciate your company. More playoff action to come tomorrow night on the TalkSport network as Peterborough take their 4-0 lead to Sheffield Wednesday in their League One playoff semi-final second leg. You can hear the game live on the TalkSport app, simple to download from all your normal providers. Head of kickoff Ian Abrahams has been speaking to the Peterborough midfielder Jack Taylor.
We're going to go there and try and win the game, but obviously have more of like a disciplined. We won't take more risks, I wouldn't think, but we'll have to just see what the gaffer says. We'll have to recover and look forward to a tense, hostile situation that I think we're going to be in on Thursday.
Was 4-0 a surprise in the first game?
Of course, yeah. I don't think anyone expected that, but like the gaffer said to us, when we play like that and we're on the front foot, no one in this league can stop us.
You were probably a surprise packet, weren't you, in terms of getting into the playoffs? Now you've produced that result against Sheffield Wednesday. Do you think the other two sides are going to look at you thinking, OK, we have to take them seriously?
No, I think you've got to take all teams seriously when you get into the playoffs. We're not too thinking about... We're just thinking about Thursday now, so we'll come to the final if we get there when it comes to it. But I think they should fear us. Like it's just any other league game. We've got dangerous players who can hurt teams and win games. So I think they will be looking at us, but I think they'll be more focused on Barnsley versus Bolton.
It's a dynamic team as well, and you've always been a team that score goals, lots of goals normally, and you've proved that already so far in this tie against Sheffield Wednesday. Do you think one more does it? I mean, if you go to Hillsborough and you score at any point in the game, do you think to yourself, right, we're probably there?
I don't think you're ever there until the final whistle's done. So I think Kwame had a chance at the end where I was praying that he put it away for 5-0 which would have made a massive difference, I think.
Would you, if you were finding that, would you have told me you were going to Wembley?
Nah, no chance.
And finally, what would it mean to the club to have a chance, a shot, at 90 minutes at getting to the Championship after what happened during the COVID season?
Yeah, getting promoted in the COVID season was obviously a brilliant accomplishment for myself and the team.
There was no one here, sadly, to see it.
Yeah, exactly. The fans come to celebrate after, but it didn't have that sort of vibe, not like tonight, where we think we could have got promoted tonight with how the crowd were reacting to how we were playing, and they're going to turn up at Hillsborough. I know they will, and get us over the line.
One of the goal scorers for Peterborough, Jack Taylor, talking to the Moose in the last few days. 4-0 they lead after the first leg. Peterborough at Sheffield Wednesday on the free TalkSport app. Best way to listen, the only place you can listen to that one tomorrow. Adam Bridge and the Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk on the call for us. Adrian Clark alongside me. Surely no shock to come in League One at Hillsborough tomorrow.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Moore, as part of his presser, trying to inspire confidence.
Yeah, look, you've got to believe, you've got to make the players believe, but I just don't see it. Peterborough are very hit and miss. They're a hot and cold side. So if anyone could maybe throw away a lead, it might be Peterborough. But they've been battered, haven't they, a couple of times this season? I think on home turf they got spanked 5-0 by Bolton. So you never know.
Coventry back out. We still wait for Middlesbrough here at the Riverside. As I say that, here come the hosts out of the tunnel. Doyle, McFadzean, McNally. A back three standing tall, standing firm, and yes, the host Borough are getting down the sides, particularly Ryan Giles having real success down the sides for Borough. But how do they go about for you, Adrian Clark, pulling that robust Coventry back three apart?
Yeah, I think they've got to draw the defenders out towards the ball. I'd like to see Chuba Akpom, when he gets the ball in pockets, oh, excuse me.
It's all right. Is that the chip you just?
Yeah, I think it is. I'd like to see him run at a defender and commit them, draw them in, and then play around them. I'd also like to see him and Archer combine a little bit more often than we saw in that first period. So far, even though they're all playing very well, Giles is the only one that's finding real penetration.
Take a sip of that water, Adrian Clark, before you keel over. We don't need that here at the Riverside. A second leg waiting to explode. Rob Edwards, the Luton boss, watching on. Who will Luton face in the Championship playoff final at Wembley at the end of the month on TalkSport? We're waiting to find out. Here's the second half. Adrian Clark alongside Ian Dancer.
Middlesbrough get underway, kicking towards the north stand to our left in their red strip with the white horizontal stripe across the chest. Coventry in all sky blue. They'll be heading for the south stand away to our right hand side. We're sat right at the back of the west stand here at the Riverside, and behind us is a banner commemorating the late great Ali Brownlee, who was a regular commentator here on Teesside on Middlesbrough. How he would love to have been here for a night like tonight, and how we miss the fact that he's not here on nights like tonight. Such a lovely fella. He'd be proud of the way Middlesbrough have gone about their business under Michael Carrick since late October. But they've got work to do here, and they've got some defending to do here, because Coventry coming forward with Bidwell looking for Gyökeres early in the half, and it screws away from Norton Cuffy. An important touch from Ryan Giles at the far post as Bidwell scurried down the Coventry left and whipped an early cross in. 0-0.
Wasn't the worst cross you've ever seen, was it? Put it into the right area. He's got forward pretty well, not quite as much as Giles for Borough.
Here's Gustavo Hamer at the edge of the area, finds Jamie Allen, tried to give it back to Hamer when he might have been better placed shooting from inside the D. It's worked back to Allen again at the edge of the area. He plays a 1-2 again, chips the ball to the far post, well claimed under the crossbar by Zach Steffen. Coventry have had a bit of a rocket at half-time, it seems.
Yeah, good football there, really good. Norton Cuffy fizzes a pass into Jamie Allen inside the box. The touch is fantastic from him. Little 1-2 with Gyökeres, and then he tries to dink across to the far post. Keeper with those long levers that I've been talking about just plucks it out of the air, but that was better football from Coventry.
Now Middlesbrough, I'll run through the lineups in a minute when I get a chance, but tempo's picked up the start of the second half the way the first half ends. Actually, it's back with Zach Steffen, so let's run through the Middlesbrough lineup. Steffen in goal, Smith, McNair, Lenihan, Giles, Hackney, Mowat, Force, Akpom, McGree and Archer. For Coventry, Wilson the keeper, then McNally, McFadzean and Doyle, Sheaf, Kelly, Hamer, Allen in midfield, Norton, Cuffy and Bidwell wide, Gyökeres up front. No changes made at half-time by either Michael Carrick or Mark Robbins. And Riley McGree giving chase at the edge of the area, just eased out of the way by Luke McNally. Bit of professionalism from the young Coventry centre half, and McFadzean typically hoofs the ball clear.
Yeah, but he's so much better than that, isn't he, McFadzean? He is the cover guy. Every time tonight, Coventry have been in a little bit of a pickle. He turns up on the scene, doesn't he, McFadzean?
36 years young.
Yeah, he reads the game. He uses that experience so wisely. Just anticipates things. He is integral to Coventry City's excellent defensive record, and we're seeing that tonight. He has been, I think, well, he's certainly been Coventry's best player.
Made over 600 club appearances, and he's trying to bring all that experience to bear here for Coventry City in this playoff semi-final, with Luton Town awaiting at Wembley Stadium. Gotta love the playoffs. 3 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0. Extra time and penalties may or may not be required. Ball's out of play. Coventry thought they'd worked a neat angle tight to the touchline on the far side, but it's been given as a Middlesbrough throw. And the atmosphere being ramped up again, and the Coventry fans, 2,000 or so in the southeast corner, that's all they were allowed by Middlesbrough. A bit of tit for tat after Coventry only allowed 2,000 Borough fans to come south on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think they'd have been allowed more here. There was more space probably at the CPS, but
well, there must be at least 30,000 here. I think 30,000 or so is their best attendance so far this season. I think they've been averaging 26,000, 27,000 here.
This is a tremendous crowd. Yeah, this is as full as I've seen the Riverside in many years.
I was here for the cup tie against Spurs in the League Cup when it was pretty full. Josh Coburn scoring a winning goal that night.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, down that end. Yeah.
It was down the end that Middlesbrough are attacking in this second half. Away to our left, the North Stand end at the Riverside. 6th consecutive season in the Championship for Middlesbrough, and their finishes 5th, 7th, 17th, 10th, 7th, and finished 3rd this year. Now here comes Gyökeres for Coventry. He's got runners either ahead of him. Chance for Coventry to take the lead. Here's Jamie Allen, screws it wide. What a chance for Jamie Allen. Didn't get the shot on target. What a big miss for the Coventry number 8, who puts his hands behind his head. He knows that was as good a chance as Coventry have had in the entire playoff semi-final leg and a bit.
Oh, I cannot believe he's missed this. Wow, what a barnstorming run it was down the centre of the pitch.
Ben Sheaf.
It's Sheaf that gets into the area, and he just puts it on a plate for Jamie Allen, and he gets his feet caught up between him. Gyökeres on the turnover, Sheaf into the box, and the cutback's perfect. Oh, but the finish isn't.
Bit of a life there for Middlesbrough. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport 2, but here come the home side. Hackney releases Ryan Giles down the left-hand side, underneath our commentary position. Goes out further down the left-hand side for McGree, but McNally stabs the ball out of play for a throw, level with the box. On this near side to left, McGree's going to leave it for Giles to take.
Yeah, great atmosphere. Coventry fans, I think they're growing in belief over in that far corner, really getting behind their supporters. A few of them follow me up on the motorway.
Bit of space for Mowat to float the ball into Akpom inside the area, chests it down, but the flag has gone up long before he tried to hook his left foot round it. He didn't get the shot in the end, but he was offside from the ball over the top from Mowat.
It's the right idea, isn't it? I think they need to do it, but it's a very marginal decision as well. I think just about that's the right call. Real tight one. But Akpom needs to do that. He needs to make those runs in beyond the centre halves. It can't just be Archer. Akpom, we know he's brilliant when he comes short, but sometimes he has to go beyond, and there it was the right idea, but the flag went against him.
Well, we are in a VAR-free zone in the EFL. Some would say thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I thought that under my breath.
Howard Webb was on White and Jordan this morning on TalkSport, the new head of the referees, explaining the future of VAR. White and Jordan back from 10 in the morning on TalkSport after breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy's. Jim White and Simon Jordan will take you through until lunchtime tomorrow with the most topical debate show to see you through your morning time. Stefan in possession, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, plays it up towards the halfway line. A chance for Smith to advance Now Force takes over and gives it back to Paddy McNair, who's under pressure from Gyökeres. Fires it back to Stefan, but well controlled by the Manchester City loanee. Manchester City incidentally 2-0 up on Real Madrid in the second half of that Champions League semi-final second leg, live on Talk Sport right now. Much tighter to call here, 0-0, but here come Middlesbrough with Cameron Archer. But a very cool and calm challenge from Luke McNally to put it out for another Middlesbrough throw on this left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, the back three of Coventry have been really, really good tonight. Hayden Hackney was prompting there. He was the man that released Cameron Archer. I really like the way he travels with the ball. He's principally a holding midfielder that's neat and tidy, but every now and again he just carries it. And when he carries it with real purpose. He draws players in, as I was talking about earlier with Dan Windle. Sometimes you've got to do that. Commit a defender, take the ball to them, then pass it around. And that's the way to take defenders out of the game. Not everything can just be played out in front of them. Started adding goals to his game as well, Hayden Hackney. 20 years of age, a real breakthrough season for him. Foul by Riley McGree, backing in to a Coventry defender at the edge of the D. David Couton, referee, gives the offence against him. Half-time in the WSL, West Ham 0, Chelsea 1, after Arsenal's women won 4-1 at Everton. So Chelsea, as it stands, are going back top of the WSL, above Manchester United. And after tonight, everybody in the WSL will have 2 games to play. Middlesbrough in possession with the aforementioned Hayden Hackney, now volleyed downfield without too much ceremony by Paddy McNair. Norton Cuffy will just let the ball bounce out of play on this near touch line, and he gets it back into play with the Coventry throw. Adrian Clark, 0-0. Yeah, look, I'm still enjoying the game. I know it's goalless, but this is just simmering, isn't it? Yeah. And it's crying out for a moment of magic, a moment of inspiration, someone to just take a chance, someone to make a run, gamble inside the box, someone to try their luck from distance. Gustavo Hamer just drops his shoulder, keeps the ball away from Marcus Force. He's midway point of the Middlesbrough half. He tried to play a very ambitious diagonal ball across the box, looking for Norton Cuffy coming in on the right hand side, but it was overhit by Hamer, and it's a Middlesbrough goal kick. We've played 10 minutes of the second half on your home of the EFL and the EFL playoffs, Talk Sport 2. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0 it remains. Yeah, I mean, it's Coventry's fans that we can hear loudest inside the Riverside. I think they're growing in belief. I think that Mark Robins' players are growing in belief as well. You mentioned it in your What the EFL podcast about how the counter-attack potential for Coventry would suit them a little better in this tie than having to carry the issue as they probably felt they had to do at the CBS Arena. Yeah, no, it's true. And yeah, they go from back to front really, really quickly, Coventry, and I feel that's where they can maybe hurt Borough, but right now they've got some defending to do. Akpom down the right hand side of the Coventry box, but Hamer back in a defensive area forces Akpom to slide it in and put it out for a goal kick, when Akpom appeared to think it might have come off Hamer last of all. But at least Akpom looks like he's not in any discomfort, as we feared he might be after that whack on the knee he took in the first half. Both managers still stood at the edge of their technical areas. Mark Robins' hands in pockets. Carrick mostly calm, but just showing a little bit of frustration that there's not a high press as Coventry bring the ball out from the back. Yeah, he'll want Ben Wilson tested more. You know, this is the home game. I mean, we just haven't seen enough shots on target right across both legs, really. We've seen some good football, we've seen some competitive play, moments of quality, but not enough clear chances. Now here's Ben Sheep playing the ball over the top. Gyökeres in behind, out comes Stefan. Gyökeres goes round him, angles tight. Hamer takes over, chops inside the defender, goes for goal and puts Coventry in front. Magnificent finish from Gustavo Hamer. Gyökeres did all the hard work. A ball over the top from Sheep, got Gyökeres in through the middle. Stefan came out. Gyökeres went round him. By the time he'd settled with the ball, the angle was tight, but Gustavo Hamer just said, leave it to me, I'll take care of it. And what a finish into the top corner, deadlock broken, and it's Coventry City who break that deadlock.
57 minutes gone. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1.
We were crying out for one moment of quality, and we have just seen it from Gustavo Hamer. As Gyökeres lobs the ball over the keeper, it falls to Hamer, and he does not rush. He takes his time, he chops inside his man. There's 3 players to beat on the goal line, but he just steadies himself, Hamer, and then he curls it, top corner, unstoppable.
10th goal of the season for Gustavo Hamer. What a time to get double figures. And those Coventry fans in the southeast corner lighting the blue smoke bombs again and believing that Wembley is within their grasp. Middlesbrough, the favourites before the Championship playoff semi-finals began by virtue of their strong third place finish, now have just over half an hour to find a response here in front of their own. 1-0 Coventry.
What I noticed from the home fans was a roar. There was no, this is it, this is done. The response was, come on boys, we're still in this. And I think that Middlesbrough should believe that. They are still very much in the game.
Tommy Smith down the right hand side for Middlesbrough as they try to respond quickly. He's won a throw level with the edge of the area. You're dead right, Adrian Clark, and your club Arsenal are as good an example of that, of the crowd getting behind if they've gone behind early in matches this season. Here's Smith again, down the right hand side towards the corner flag, just chops, gives the ball infield to McGree, still down the right hand side of the Coventry box. Offside flag goes up, and that will frustrate the home fans. Free kick to Coventry, who lead by 1-0 as we tick round towards the hour mark here on Talk Sport 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking about Middlesbrough maybe playing too much in front of Coventry, and that Gyökeres has that pace to get in behind, and I don't think, it's not a surprise to me that that's where the goal comes from. That's what they've got in their armoury, Coventry City. They can just flick a ball over the top and he will get on the end of it. He beats the keeper, and then from there there's a lot to do for Gus Hamer, a lot to do, but he stays so calm, doesn't he? So calm. And I just loved the finish, loved it. Top corner with 2 or 3 on the goal line.
I'm not sure whether Zach Steffen got fingertips to it as well, you know, on its way in.
But there were so many players blocking his path, but he was unfazed by it.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I know exactly where I'm sticking this, and you're not going to get there.
You're listening to Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1 in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final, live on Talk Sport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Here comes Chuba Akpom bursting forward for Middlesbrough. He goes down under pressure from Liam Kelly, and that's a free kick for Middlesbrough. Dead centre, about 30 yards out. Somebody's going to have a crack at goal here for the Borough.
Well, you've got to shoot from here. It's a good run, isn't it, from Chuba Akpom?
Kelly's getting booked as well, I think.
No surprise. I mean, he's just scrambling back, isn't he? I think it is a foul, but there's a little bit of aggro going on. Yeah, it's Mfanzine has picked one up as well.
Yeah, that's for trying to delay the quick taking of the free kick, I think, and just the housery, as we're now calling it these days.
If they get a red here, they miss the final.
Yeah.
We've got to be careful then, haven't they? So, look, this is dead centre. It is a long way out. I'd say we're talking...
It's more like 35 yards,
We're talking
isn't it?
33, 34 yards out. Could be 35, yeah.
See, that's what I said.
I think you're probably right, on reflection. I was trying to argue with it, but I accept that you were correct.
I understand you trying to argue with me, that's fine. Alex Mowat standing over the free kick. Maybe he'll have a crack at goal this time. 3-man Coventry wall inside the D. Mowat, in fact, lifts it to the far right-hand side of the box, across the face of goal, and it just got cleared away. It was Lenihan who was trying to help it across the face of goal in the end for Middlesbrough, but didn't get the power he wanted to find a teammate.
It's a good free kick, but who was there to clear it? It's the hero, Gus Hamer. I mean, what a season he's had. Double he's got now, 10 goals, 10 assists. I mean, such a good signing, Brazilian boy.
He came from Zwolle in the Dutch Eredivisie a couple of years ago. 1-0 Coventry lead if you're just tuning into Talk Sport 2. Giles though for Middlesbrough, gets to the byline, pulls it across the face of goal, and it's cleared away by Carl McFadzean for a throw to Middlesbrough.
It's always Carl McFadzean.
Now, Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough plays the ball into the centre of the half. It's forced McNair to come forward to stop Kelly getting hold of what was almost a 50-50 ball in the centre of the field. Manchester City still 2-0 up on Real Madrid, incidentally, over on TalkSport in the Champions League semi-final. This has only one goal in it, and it's gone to Coventry City. Middlesbrough in possession with Giles. Faced up by Norton Cuffy, just gives the ball back 5 yards or so to Hackney. Hackney's giving it away to Hamer. Lovely ball into the centre circle for Jamie Allen, who's got defenders backpedaling. Gyökeres makes a dummy run, allows Allen to continue to the edge of the area. Shot deflected. Lenihan will prevent the corner and clear it out of play. Well, you know, it's kept in play on this near side by Ryan Giles. What a run from Jamie Allen, helped by Victor Gyökeres, but didn't get his shot right, Adrian Clark.
Superb movement, wasn't it, for Gyökeres? Just took the defender away, and Allen said, OK, thank you very much, I'll just continue to run into the space.
And here's Gyökeres again, making tracks down the left-hand side. Onside as he gets to the dead ball line. No support whatsoever. Still has it inside the area, trying to make room for a shot. It's blocked in the end, the shot by McNair. Comes out to the left-hand corner. Bidwell lobs it to the far post where the goal scorer Hamer will pick it up. Down by the dead ball line. Faced up by Giles. Norton Cuffy there at the right-hand corner of the area. Plays it into the box. A 1-2 with Sheaf. Norton Cuffy couldn't carry the ball down the right-hand side of the area, and Middlesbrough come away with it. 64 minutes gone. 1-0 to Coventry. Vital foot in from McNally to stop Archer getting forward past the halfway line.
Brilliant. Great defending. But yeah, the game's opened up big time now. It's end to end. Coventry carry a massive threat when the game gets stretched, but this might help Middlesbrough too.
Adrian Clark, former Arsenal midfielder, alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Riverside. We finally have someone with an advantage in this playoff tie, and it is the visitors here tonight. Mark Robinson, Coventry City, who lead through that Gustavo Hamer strike just before the hour. We've now played 64.5 minutes. Here is the Middlesbrough captain, Darren Lenihan, once of Blackburn Rovers. Midway point of the Coventry half, just lays it off to young Hayden Hackney. McGree now takes over, just chips the ball, reverse ball into the area, but chested back by Callum Doyle to his keeper Ben Wilson, who then waits for Force to get close to him before collapsing on the ball, Jordan Pickford style. And now he's rolling around, claiming he was caught by Marcus Force, and it's like he's doing the dying fly. If anybody remembers Tiswas from the 1970s.
Well, I'm going to have a look at this. Let's have a look. I mean, come on, Ben. Come on, mate.
Yeah, it caught on the side of the ear, maybe by Marcus Force's sock.
It's a bit embarrassing because, there's contact, but absolutely not worthy of treatment. And that's what Ben Wilson's doing by rolling around. I mean, he's faking this.
Right, it's a triple change for Middlesbrough, and that's Marcus Force's last act, because he's being replaced by Isaiah Jones. Also coming off is Dan Barlays. He's coming on for Alex Mowat. Interesting that he's given the opportunity. Of course, Johnny Howson not fit enough to be part of the squad, and the other change sees Tommy Smith being replaced by Anthony Dijksteel. So fullback for fullback, pretty much all like for like switches there, Adrian Clark, with these three changes made by Michael Carrick, 1-0 down.
Yes, he's not one for ripping up plan A and going with a plan B, Michael. But it's just to freshen things up, isn't it? I think Dan Barlaser is a very, very good passer. You know, Isaiah Jones, I think obviously Fours has come back from a month out. Jones has been playing and has carried a real threat actually in recent games. I've watched in the flesh 2 of the last 3 Borough games prior to tonight, and he's been pretty, prominent in both of those games. And Dyke still got sent off at Rotherham, another game that I was at, and that's how he lost his place.
Finally back underway is Wilson, who's going to be the chief pantomime villain for those Coventry fans behind him at the north stand end, clears it downfield. Chelsea's women are now 2-0 up on West Ham in the WSL. Pernille Harder with a second for Chelsea. Arsenal won earlier against Everton in the WSL by 4-1. Manchester City 2-0 up on Real Madrid. 1-0 to Coventry City here in the Championship playoff semi-final, a scoreline that takes them to Wembley as it stands with a quarter of the game to go in the 90. But here comes Dijksteel with an early run. What a run! Jones right hand side of the box. Oh, the cross doesn't find its intended target, but the two substitutes showed great pace down that right hand side, and Dijksteel, wow, if that's what we got to come for his cameo, then Coventry will have their work cut out to hold on to this 1-goal lead.
He just exploded, didn't he, Dijksteel? He went through the challenge of Callum Doyle too easily. Not good defending from him, but it's a terrible cross from Isaiah Jones. It's absolutely awful. It's horrible when you're a winger and you do that, because that's your trade. You're there to cross, and when you balloon one behind the goal, it's embarrassing. And I think he'll be feeling a bit red-faced.
Ben Wilson really taking his time. He had the two centre-halves in the box with him, thought he was going to take a short goal kick, then bidded them to go away, and then took an ace to take the goal kick. Now a foul on Gyökeres, about 5 yards outside the area, and a yellow card issued by David Coote to Darragh Lenihan for that challenge. So both of the Middlesbrough centre-halves now on yellow cards. Gyökeres again having his shirt pulled as he spun away from his man.
He's so good at it. He's so good at it, isn't he? He feels the defender, rolls them. He did the same to get the yellow card from McNair, and Lenihan kind of feels he's got no option but to tug on the shirt. And this is within shooting range now. Bidwell will fancy it, but so too with Gus Hamer.
Change is going to be made before the free kick is taken, and Josh Eccles is going to come on for Ben Sheaf. Another like-for-like switch, this time from a Coventry City point of view. Eccles played in the first leg, and so he comes on for Sheaf, who's had his decent moments.
Yeah, well, he's been out injured, and that's the reason he's coming off. He's a little bit short of match fitness, but he's done an excellent job for his team tonight. And I think Josh Eccles, though he's a rookie player, first full season as a Coventry first teamer, he's made a good impression.
Scored his first senior goal against Birmingham last month, and he's on for Sheaf. Now the free kick is to the left of centre, not quite at the left hand corner of the box, but not especially far away from it. Favours a right-footed effort. There's a 5-man Middlesbrough wall standing just inside the 18-yard box, and Gustavo Hamer takes it right-footed, hits the angle of post and bar. Norton Cuffy heads it back to the edge of the box, and Dijksteel volleys it up into the air. Gustavo Hamer inches away from a second for him and for Coventry.
Well, it's almost the perfect free kick. It is a glorious effort from Gus Hamer. Whips it over the wall. He's got dip. You're not stopping that. It was fiercely struck. It absolutely rattled the frame of the goal. The ball was accelerating as it hit the woodwork. That was, well, it would have been unstoppable had it not hit the woodwork.
Stephan was a spectator. Here's Cameron Archer for Middlesbrough. Loses possession. It's fired downfield by Norton Cuffy. Gyökeres again superb on halfway to protect the ball from Lenihan. Now just holding the ball up slightly as he drifts out to this near touchline, and he wins a throw in the end off Barlaser.
He's an outstanding centre forward, isn't he, Victor Gyökeres? I got a lot of stick from Borough fans when I said on TalkSport 2 that I thought he might have got Championship Player of the Year ahead of Chuba Akpom, but I think he's a sensational player at this level.
Interesting debate.
It is a debate, isn't it? Both brilliant this season, but you know what he brings as well is a lot more assists. He creates as many chances as he has on goal himself, and tonight, as a lone thrower up top, he's been a total handful.
You're right, 10 assists for him compared to Akpom's 2. It's in terms of versatility, I take your point. But there we go, the award was made. Akpom was given the Championship Player
and good on him, and good on him for it. He's been brilliant, and I'm so happy for him. He's finally found a home here on Teesside.
The Coventry fans you can hear at the moment with 18 minutes to go in full voice in the southeast corner opposite our commentary position, but this game is far from done. Dijksteel for Middlesbrough, driving again down the right-hand side, gets to the byline, tries to pull the cross in, but it comes off the heel of Bidwell and out for a throw on the far side. 1-0 Coventry City lead.
He's added something, hasn't he, Dijksteel?
Without question. and he'll have it again out on the far side. Barlaser finds Isaiah Jones, just tucks it back to McGree, right hand corner of the box. He tries to drive right into the chest of Callum Doyle, claims for a penalty from those fans at the North Stand end. Meantime, Hamer out muscles Cameron Archer. Eccles gets involved for the first time, goes to ground, loses out, and now Hayden Hackney tries to find McGree at the edge of the area, is fouled, and now Middlesbrough have a free kick. And another yellow card, this time for Luke McNally. I'm losing count here.
Is there anyone left without a yellow?
Yeah, there's a few in fairness, but that's all 3 Coventry centre-halves now booked.
Well, that's not great, is it? That is a concern. It was another good run, wasn't it, from Hayden Hackney? He's really positive. He's not just your guy that gives and goes. He will sometimes have a little dribble. He's very good at it. Looking at the handball appeal, I don't think he can give it. It might have hit his shoulder, but the arm was in what you'd call a natural position.
Here we go, t-shirt line and all that.
Yeah, it's the right call not to give the pen. But look, this is a free kick in a good area.
Yeah, this is closer to the left-hand corner of the penalty area than Coventry's last free kick was. It's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Barlaser and Hackney standing over it. Giles sends it to the far post, headed out to the edge of the area. McGree fires it back in, blocked by a forest of sky blue legs in front of goal. Comes out to Giles again on the Middlesbrough left, tries to wrap his foot round it, and it lands behind the dead ball line as Wilson watches the ball sail over his head, and it just ends up being a Coventry City goal kick. Time ticks away at the Riverside Stadium. This is TalkSport 2. It's the playoffs. 16 minutes to go. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 1. Adrian Clark.
The whole season comes down to the last 15 minutes or so now, doesn't it? What have Middlesbrough got left in the tank? What have they got left? I think they'll get one big chance for sure.
You've just been looking at the stats for how well Coventry do when they score first in games.
Yeah, you caught me out there. I have, and it's pretty good.
We'll get to that in a minute as Archer goes down. Wants a free kick, so do most of the crowd, but David Coote waves his arms to say no. Jamie Allen retrieves possession for Coventry. Gyökeres holds on to the ball and gives it back to Hamer. Hamer looks for Jamie Allen, trying to let it off for Gyökeres, but poor touch. Picked up by Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough. Barlaser on the halfway line, finds Chuba Akpom, turns away from Allen. Giles in a bit of space to his left, picks it up now. Midway point at the half, tries to run round Norton Coffey the long way, was never going to get round him. And Coventry tidy up, and Norton Coffey brings it away. 1-0 to the Sky Blues. Now, Liam Kelly looks at the ball long. Gyökeres, ever willing, but McNair gets in front of him this time and wins the header.
Does ever so well. The game's so stretched now. Yeah, look, 18 wins from 24 for Coventry City when they've taken the lead. So from 1-0 up, they've won 18 of 24, Coventry. But Middlesbrough are the second best when it comes to coming back from 1-0 down in the Championship.
Now, Dyksdale down the right-hand side for Middlesbrough. It's given back to Barlaser, right-hand corner of the area. Tries to cross, it's headed away. Tie over on TalkSport. Manchester City 3-0 up on Real Madrid, and now 4-1 on aggregate. An own goal. Surely it's the final. Manchester City, Inter Milan. Be live on TalkSport at the end of the season. Here, things are far from clear. Barlaser for Middlesbrough, trailing by a goal to nil. Looks for Isaiah Jones inside the box, but there were enough sky blue shirts back there to wrestle it clear, and Doyle looks to release Gyökeres down the left-hand side. Lenihan gets there first, goes to ground. He was pushed by Gyökeres, and the referee was just about keeping up with play. It's the free kick to Middlesbrough. It's 1-0 to Coventry, and now there's less than 13 minutes to play, and Gyökeres, for kicking the ball away, becomes, I think, the 9th player to get a yellow card.
Yeah, he's been a bit card happy, hasn't he, David Coote, tonight?
Maybe he's had to be.
Yeah, well, you've also got to judge the occasion. It was always going to be niggly tonight, but Mafadzin's limping. Great piece of defending inside his box for about the 20th time tonight, but he's not moving too well now, Mafadzin.
Pankati Darbo ready to come on for Coventry, but here come Middlesbrough, a goal down. Ryan Giles looks for Riley McGree down the left-hand side of the penalty area, attacking the north stand then to a left. McGree comes inside, gets to the edge of the area, tries a reverse pass for Archer that gets intercepted and cleared downfield. Carrick collects the ball as it trickles over the touchline, gives it straight to his captain Lenihan to get play restarted. 12.5 minutes to go. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1 on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL playoffs. McGree hits the ball against McNally, wants a free kick or a corner, gets neither, it's a goal kick to Coventry City. And now Fankati Darboe will come on. So too will Matty Godden for a double change for the visitors. McFadzean, as you mentioned, Adrian Clark,
he's struggling,
just sitting down on his, sitting up actually at the edge of his own penalty area.
I do hope he's not picked up something that might rule him out of that Wembley showpiece. There's a bit of a gap, isn't there? Obviously, if Coventry get there, they will want him.
You try and tell him he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. But it might be game over for him. But I think they're just going to wait and find out what the prognosis is on McFadzean before they confirm these substitutions. Just thinking about Michael Carrick, he's made some changes, added fresh legs, but I think the time has come to try something a bit different. You know, are they going to be a bit direct? Are they going to put 2 or 3 up front? Are they going to change the shape?
Well, here comes the change, and it is Brooke Norton-Cuffy who's coming off to allow Fankati Darboe to come on. And the other change, Jamie Allen, is the player that's coming off to allow Matt Godden to enter the fray.
Well, midfielder off for a striker.
Interesting again, as Mark Robbins, who was leaving 2 up at corner kicks when defending, now brings on, rather than a defender, for a striker to see out a 1-0 win. Well, we'll see whether it pays off, Adrian Clark.
Yeah, he who dares, Rodney. But McFadzean, I think, wants to come back on, so that's interesting. But yeah, I think Crooks is the obvious one. I'm thinking, where is he? He's warming up beneath us. I think the time, because Crooks gets into the box, causes a bit of chaos. He's massive, which is something they don't really have Middlesbrough going forward. I think Michael Carrick's got to be a bit more dynamic. We know he's relaxed, we know he's confident in his players, but the moment of truth is upon us now, and I think he has got to act here and make a more decisive decision.
TalkSport 2 in the playoffs. We are ticking round into the last 10 minutes of normal time here at the Riverside Stadium. Coventry holding a 1-goal lead given to them by Gustavo Hamer. But here's Isaiah Jones for Middlesbrough as they attack the end to our left to try and get an equaliser, at least to force extra time. Hackney out to Jones, hugging that right-hand touchline. Dykesteel's ahead of him, but he goes infield to Barlow. It's a good first-time ball for Dykesteel. Could have crossed for a moment, but he elected just to hold on for a moment. Ball was put out of play by Eccles for a throw. And Hackney again for Middlesbrough. Play all out on the far side at the moment from us, in front of the east stand. Now it's swept across to the near side to us. And Ryan Giles stepping inside Darboe, up to the edge of the area, tries to play a 1-2, doesn't come off. Godden will get his first involvement, finds his captain Liam Kelly, who clips it up to Gyökeres, holds it up superbly, shy of the halfway line, and now a run through the middle from Godden. Can he be found by Hamer? Zach Steffen comes out to the edge of his area, chests it away from danger.
Oh, it was good goalkeeping actually. He took a chance there, did Zach Steffen, but he intercepted the move because Godden was in.
But then Jones and Dykesteel mess up, and then Hamer nods it down to the edge of the area. Gyökeres gets a drive and it's blocked, and then Hamer again on his left foot. It was Godden in actual fact who tried the effort, but Hamer on his left foot not quite as effective as he was with his right when he scored.
No, he scored 2 really good goals here at the Riverside in the last 10-11 days, Gustavo Hamer. But is that strike we saw where he was so composed in the box, where he sticks it top corner, is that going to be the goal that takes Coventry City to Wembley?
Luton Town await. Rob Edwards is here checking out these two teams. 32,154 inside the Riverside. Magnificent support from all concerned, including those 2,000 or so who've travelled up the M1 and the A19 to get here. They're the happiest at the moment, but here come Middlesbrough. Hayden Hackney teases it out to the right-hand side. Dykesteel fakes to cross, finds Jones. Jones goes down at the edge of the area. No foul, says the referee. McGree picks the ball up for Middlesbrough. Has it 25 yards out. Has to flick it back into the centre of the half for McNair. McNair wants an option. Just to his right is Hackney. Jones turns it round the corner. Can McGree keep it in play? He can pull it back. Archer can't get the shot away, either at the first or second time of asking, and then he carried it out of play, did he? No, it's kept in play. Jones goes for goal and it's blocked wide for a corner.
Wow.
For Middlesbrough. I mean, Cameron Archer was so well placed but couldn't get the shot away.
I mean, a couple of times there I thought the ball must have gone out of play, or there was a stoppage. Another yellow card, by the way. But this was brilliant from Riley McGree to actually get there. Did he kick the ball in? I think he did. And then there were appeals for handball from a Coventry player. Then the ball does go out of play.
I thought I saw it go out of play. I thought my eyes weren't playing tricks on me.
But Borough carried on playing, and in the end they win the corner. So this will be controversial if Middlesbrough can score from this set piece.
Well,
they'll be up in arms, Coventry.
They can't take the corner yet because there's a Coventry player down with cramp. Guess who? It's McFadzean.
Yeah.
36 years young. His fingernails being chewed to the bone all round us.
It looks like he's got wooden legs, McFadzean, at the minute.
6.5 minutes to go. It's a Middlesbrough corner. Going to be swept in from the left-hand side by Ryan Giles into the near post. Archer under the crossbar, volleys it over, and it lands just beyond the roof of the net. Again, Archer in position, but it was awkward for him. He just couldn't twist his body around to make it work. McFadzean's gone down again with cramp. Thumps the turf in frustration, but this is going to kill a few more seconds of normal time, and maybe Mark Robbins might decide to make a change from his bench.
I think he might have to. I mean, what a corner that was, by the way. That was vicious. Whipped in, left-footed. He got a little flick, and as it has all evening, it just didn't fall. It just didn't fall for Middlesbrough. They need a bit of luck here, and they've had none tonight. The run of the ball has gone against the home side all night long. Archer there just got ahead of it and couldn't direct the shot on target. He's only 4 or 5 yards out, but it didn't fall for him.
Well, Jonathan Panto, who's on loan at Coventry from Nottingham Forest, is going to replace Carl McFadzean for these last 5 minutes of normal time, as McFadzean's led behind the goal to our left-hand side, looking a little disconsolate. Manchester City 3-0 up. He's getting the bird from the fans in the North Stand.
You won't mind that. He's a very experienced player, and he's been awesome tonight, McFadzean.
Now Ben Wilson taking his time again over the goal kicks.
Well, he's doing his best Nick Pope impression, isn't he? Or Aaron Ramsdale, or any of these guys. They're all at it, aren't they?
Seems to be the trend. Wilson finally, and he's getting a yellow card, which means that the goal kick's going to be delayed even further. Wow. Double figures in terms of yellow cards, but no red.
Well, it feels only a matter of time before we get a red.
Well, maybe so, but it will be a few more seconds before Wilson gets the ball back into play.
Yeah, and he's not going to hurry up. He's got to be careful, of course, not to get the second one.
Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1. Less than 5 minutes of normal time to go. Manchester City 3-0 up on Real Madrid. Everything will be discussed on TalkSport Breakfast in the morning with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist from 6 a.m. when you wake up on TalkSport. More live football tomorrow night from the Premier League. You've got Newcastle against Brighton, exclusive to TalkSport. AZ Alkmaar against West Ham in the Europa Conference League on TalkSport 2. And Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough in the League One playoff semi-second leg. That's exclusive to the TalkSport app. Middlesbrough in possession inside their own half. It's back with their keeper, Zach Steffen. The American clears it right-footed. Almost reaches the halfway line, headed up in the air by the diminutive Liam Kelly. Drops for Hayden Hackney. And there was a foul on a Middlesbrough player, so a free kick to Borough, just shy of the halfway line, and they're desperate to get the ball restarted.
Yeah, still no change from Carrick. Still no Crooks. He believes in these players. He believes in this way of playing.
And it's Barlaser.
I think Crooks is just finally getting stripped and ready.
As McGree puts the ball into the box, headed up and out by Jake Bidwell. Jones lets it drop. Corner kick to Middlesbrough at the North Stand end. Crooks is ready to come on. Will he be brought on before the corner kick?
Well,
1-0 Cov, 3 to go.
Get him on now. He's massive. Yeah,
and he is coming on. And who's coming off? It's Paddy McNair. So McNair goes off and Crooks comes on. Applause for McNair, who's had a right old tussle with his opposite number tonight, Victor Gyökeres. But what can Matt Crooks conjure up for Middlesbrough in these dying minutes? As it stands, Coventry are going to Wembley, but it's a Middlesbrough corner. Giles to swing it into the near post. Up go the heads. It's Godden who gets there at the near post and heads it clear for Coventry. Hook back into the box. Maybe a chance for Crooks. I don't believe it. The flag goes up to deny him. He headed the ball in, but the flag had gone up on the far side, and Matt Crooks' first touch was to head the ball home for what he thought was an equaliser, but in an offside position. And now Ben Wilson's gone down. Also, and he's testing the referee's patience here, the Coventry goalkeeper.
Look, there's no doubt he's offside, so they've got that one right. That big call, the linesman has got spot on. But yeah, look, Ben Wilson's got to crack on here. He's on a yellow card for time wasting. You can't get sent off for 2, surely. But he is testing the referee's patience.
Well, there's 10 yellow cards. I wouldn't want to test his patience. Wilson with the free kick for the offside. So we're in the last 2 minutes of normal time. So close for Coventry City to a return to a playoff final. They did so in League 2 when Mark Robinson returned. But hang on, here come Middlesbrough. Cameron Archer into the area left-hand side, held up by Darboe. Slipped slightly, and that allowed Darboe to win it back for Coventry. Tucks it in field for Kelly. Kelly over the top, trying to get Gyökeres in behind, but Lenihan hooks it clear, but only as far as Godden in the centre circle for Coventry. And then Eccles looks for Gyökeres. 2-on-2 for a moment. Gyökeres into the area to try and seal it for Coventry. Gets the shot away and it's blocked. And it goes wide, and it ends up being a goal kick to Middlesbrough. 1-0 Cov. Last minute of normal time.
He could have put the tie to bed there, Victor Gyökeres. He's in. I don't know why he doesn't just curl it. Bottom corner, he tries to cut in, and he gets in a real muddle there, Gyökeres.
Here's Chuba Akpom. They need one of his goals right now, Middlesbrough. Darboe clears away. Manchester City have got a fall. Julian Alvarez gets in on the act. 4-0 against Real Madrid. They've swept them aside. But Middlesbrough, the championship playoff favourites with the bookmakers before a ball was kicked, are minutes away from going out. In comes the cross. Archer heads it well wide, under pressure from Callum Doyle, trying to twist his neck muscles as the ball was teased in from the right hand side, but it's gone out for a goal kick. And let's see how long Ben Wilson takes to get this downfield. We're about to find out how many extra minutes we have at the end of the game. 8. Have I read that right, or do I need my glasses checked again? It does say 8 minutes, doesn't it?
It does say 8, yes. Look, I'm used to seeing 8 now, aren't you? You never used to, but I think it's about right. We've had a lot of stoppages, and for all of Ben Wilson's time wasting, it has been added on, I think. I do think the officials have got it right. And look, there's time now. There is time for Middlesbrough, who have been knocking on the door a little bit louder in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Ball's back with Ben Wilson, who has to clear first time as Crooks thundered in on him. Downfield, up goes Godden to try and win the header, but he was fouling Barlaser. Free kick to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, just one shot on target all night for Borough. They've had a lot of good football, a lot of pressure, loads of possession, but just one save for Ben Wilson. They need to test him again.
Middlesbrough attacking down the left-hand side, looking for Ryan Giles, but across from it's McNally. Calmly puts the ball out of play. Chelsea's women 3-0 up at West Ham now in the WSL. But here at the Riverside Stadium, we've already had a minute of the minimum 8 that David Coote has added on. Some Middlesbrough fans getting that sinking feeling. But Coventry City fans over in the southeast corner, utter gut wrench for them, as Middlesbrough try and come forward down the right hand side with Isaiah Jones. Gets to the byline, pulls it across, and Wilson has to tip it over the crossbar, knowing that Akpom was lurking right behind him. Manchester City are in the final of the Champions League. They have walloped Real Madrid on their own turf, live on TalkSport. But we're not done here. 1-0 to Cobb, but Middlesbrough have a corner.
Yeah, game very much on, and there Wilson was called into action. He had to tip that crossover. Wasn't a shot from Jones, but it might have been dropping in.
Barlaser with a corner deep to the far post. Might drop for Dijksteel. Knocks it back to Hackney at the edge of the area. Drives it into a forest of legs. Cleared away by Gyökeres. Back doing defending for Coventry City, and his clearance bounces out of play on the far side, just inside the Middlesbrough half, and Isaiah Jones throws it straight back in for his goalkeeper. 2 minutes of the minimum 8 have gone. 1-0 Coventry. Adrian Clark.
Well, look, no one can breathe around us. I think everyone's just so tense. We got the Coventry. I think we got the Coventry local radio next to us, haven't we? They're sort of heads in hands. They can't really concentrate on what's going on.
We've got Steve Grizovic not 3 seats up from us, the former Coventry goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension around the place
for differing reasons. Coventry win the ball back and clip the ball up to halfway, and Josh Eccles is the willing runner. Finds Victor Gyökeres. Godden's in space inside the box. Gyökeres pulls it back for Godden, can't find him. Intercepted by Darragh Lenihan.
Well, again, I think he could shoot here, but he's unselfish. Gyökeres, he wants to tee up his mate Godden. Lenihan superb. Remember, Lenihan's on his own.
Yeah,
they took off the other centre half, so they really are risking it here, Middlesbrough, as they have to.
Barlaser turns and moves into the centre circle, neatly done by the Middlesbrough substitute. Finds Chuba Akpom. Akpom looks out to the Middlesbrough left for Ryan Giles, level with the edge of the area, faced up by Darboe, whips the ball around him, but goes out of play on the full, didn't whip it enough. Ryan Giles, and he kicks the turf in frustration. Another goal kick to Coventry, another few seconds wasted while Wilson spots it. 3.5 minutes of added time have elapsed. 8 were added on. It's 1-0 to Coventry on TalkSport 2.
We've seen a lot of good crosses tonight. Most of them have come from Ryan Giles' left foot. We haven't half seen a lot of bad crosses as well. Crosses that have gone behind the goal. And I think, you know, that'll be a source of great frustration to Michael Carrick and his coaching staff. They need to produce a moment of quality here. They've lacked a little bit of quality, haven't they, inside the final third tonight? Not enough of it really to test the Coventry rearguard and goalkeeper.
Well, given away in the centre circle by Hayden Hackney, but he won the ball back swiftly to stop Godden getting away. Middlesbrough have the ball on halfway, but they're looking to try and create a chance to get level. Here's Riley McGree down the left-hand side of the box, and another poor cross that goes out on the full, just like we saw from Ryan Giles not seconds ago. Goal kick to Coventry City, who still lead by 1-0 on TalkSport 2, and over half of the allotted 8 minutes has now gone in stoppage time.
How many minutes have been wasted with crosses going behind the opposition goal line? You know, it takes a while to retrieve it. Goal kicks, they've been so wasteful in wide areas at times here tonight, Middlesbrough. Just looking at their shape, 3 up front, clearly with Crooks and Akpom and Archer. Jones is playing up top really too. I don't even know what their formation is. It's basically, let's just stick as many players as forward as we can and hope to make something happen. And we're in that kind of last chance saloon territory now, aren't we?
Won't be long before Zach Steffen comes up for set pieces like Patterson of Sunderland did last night to try and get them level, but Luton won out in the end. Coventry are winning out here at the moment, but there's time left for goals in this game on TalkSport 2. Middlesbrough have the ball with Isaiah Jones and Fernie Dykesdale right hand side. Foul on Isaiah Jones from Josh Eccles. A chance for a free kick to be sent into the box on the right hand side. I'm just looking at Zach Steffen. He's staying at home to a degree. He's at the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, have a look. I don't think Michael's sending him forward, but look, they want to get a move on here. We're ticking. We've got 2 minutes left of injury time.
Free kick on the right hand side, and there's a one-man wall of Gustavo Hamer, the goal scorer, stood at the right hand corner of the box. Plenty forward, of course. Everyone back for Coventry to defend this. It's going to be sent in by Barlaser in front of goal, drops in the 6-yard box onto the bar from Akpom. Lenihan tries to head it goalwards, and Coventry smuggle it clear. How on earth did that stay out? Offside flag up in the end anyway.
It just feels like it's not Middlesbrough's night. It's not meant to be. I know the flag has gone up here, rightly so. You still got to finish, haven't you? 3 yards out, and he's hit the crossbar. They win the first ball. It's Crooks causing that chaos that we said he might cause, but Cameron Archer, the arch predator really, inside championship penalty boxes, somehow misses from 3 yards out. It kind of sums up Middlesbrough's night.
Wilson smacks the goal kick downfield for Coventry, drifts out of play in front of those jubilant Coventry fans. They're almost there. We're in the last minute of the minimum 8 that's been added on. Stephen gives the ball to Barlays, and Middlesbrough have got to get the ball downfield and quickly. Hackney in the centre circle, under pressure from Gyökeres. Now Barlaser again drifts into the Coventry half. Goes right for Dijksteel. 5 waiting for a cross. And it comes from Dijksteel, headed behind by Panzo. Corner right at the death for Middlesbrough. Surely Stephen will come forward for this.
He's not coming up. Get up there, keeper. What are you waiting for?
Instead he stood on the halfway line, kind of no man's land. Middlesbrough corner. Last chance saloon to get an equaliser. Giles to take it. Left-footed in swinger. Up go the heads, it drops on the left-hand side of the box. It's kept in play and then put behind for another corner as Crooks hit it against the defender Luke McNally. Another corner at the north stand, and still Stephen won't go and join in.
This is it, isn't it? It's now or never for Borough.
Corner kick on this near side. Now Stephen's trotting forward to join in, and then he stops. In it comes deep to the far post. Dyke still goes up for a header, but there's a Coventry player who gets there first, and Gustavo Hamer puts it downfield, and Coventry City have won it, and the Sky Blues are heading to Wembley Stadium in the Championship playoff finals. They beat Middlesbrough by 1-0 on Teesside. Gustavo Hamer, the hero of the hour, on the hour with a right-footed curling effort after great work from Victor Gyökeres. And Mark Robbins, who won the League 2 playoffs with the Sky Blues back in 2018, makes the return to Wembley 5 years later. The first go that Coventry City have ever had at the Championship playoffs, and they're in the final. Middlesbrough have to deal with another year at Championship level, but Coventry City march on to Wembley Stadium to face Luton Town. The dreams of a North East derby in the final are fully extinguished, and the Sky Blue players are already celebrating in front of those fans in the southeast corner. Hamer the hero. Coventry are the winners. They're through to play Luton Town. The full-time score at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 1.
Wow, utter joy, sheer ecstasy in that southeast corner of the Riverside. Everywhere else, not heartbreak, not despair. I get the sense, pride for so many Borough fans that applaud Michael Carrick's side. It's sheer delight for Coventry. They're off to Wembley. For Borough, a sense under Michael Carrick. We go again. Coventry, though, it's their night. They were bottom of the lot during the opening weeks of this season in the Championship. Now they've booked their place at the home of football at Wembley. It's been quite a ride under Michael Carrick, but tonight Borough have hit the wall. Adrian Clark, we start with a Coventry back three that tonight, all night, said you shall not pass. A back unit and the best keeper in the Championship saying we will not be breached. McFadzean and Man Mountain. Coventry came here and have done what they've never done before. They've won at the Riverside and they're off to the Championship playoff final.
Congratulations, Coventry City. I think they deserve it. It's a gutsy, heroic performance. The rearguard action was outstanding. They stood up, didn't they, to everything that Middlesbrough threw at them. They protected their goalkeeper wonderfully well over the two legs, but they always carried a threat, always looked dangerous, and they've got two of the best, most dangerous forward players in the division in the striker Victor Gyökeres and the goal scorer, the attacking midfielder Gustavo Hamer. These two are Premier League ready players, and they showed it tonight.
We were waiting for a moment of of bravery, of class. Borough had been dominating possession of the ball, but Coventry struck. Gustavo Hamer had so much to do from the narrow angle. 3 players to beat on the line, and Stefan the keeper as well. What a top draw, brilliant finish on a night like this.
Yeah, we said at the start of the night, you need calm heads. It's a crazy atmosphere. It's so noisy, you can't let yourself think. There's so much tension, so much excitement. But in the big moments, you've got to stay calm. You've got to be ice cool. And that's what Hamer was when his moment came. Because he could have rushed the shot, but he didn't. He controlled it. He waited for the defender to dive in. He chopped back. And then he still hesitated again. He composed himself and then picked his spot, far top corner, no one saving it, 3 players on the line, they can do nothing. It was brilliant.
The ball never fell for Borough tonight. 68% possession across the 90 plus minutes. Crosses late on wasteful, but at least half of the Borough fans are still here as Michael Carrick, his backroom staff and the Borough squad now begin a lap of appreciation. And I'm just sensing pride about this club in Teesside that feel, okay, we fell just short, desperately short this time around, but we believe we can go again next season with this man at the helm.
That's the response that we're getting from the Borough fans.
Listen to that. Just listen to that. That's the Borough fans.
Yeah, they're very, very appreciative of what they've done this season. And I think they know, I think we all know, that in Michael Carrick they've got a smart young manager. They know they've got a really good squad. And I think they know that they're going to be there or thereabouts at the end of next season. I think Middlesbrough will for sure be in the shake-up. Remember Sheffield United? I was there this time last year, commentating on that game at Nottingham Forest where they lost on penalties. Devastation for the Blaze. But they regrouped, they didn't panic, and largely the same group of players have gone up automatically. I think the same can happen to Middlesbrough.
Tonight, could Michael Carrick have done more? Matt Crooks he waited to throw him on. I'm wondering if Crooks is carrying something, because we only had minutes plus added on time to go when Crooks was finally put on and Borough said, okay, we'll sling it forward. He seemed desperate not to do that, and I know you were shouting out for it with Dan's second half. Can the boss, it's got to come maybe now for the technical area.
Look, you learn, don't you? He's learning on the job, Michael Carrick. He's never been in this position before. As a number one, in a massive match, having to make the big calls. It's new to him. And I think when he assesses the squad and the team, he'll also assess himself. And when he assesses himself, I think Michael might look at himself and say, could I have been a bit more dynamic there? Could I have made a more decisive decision? And I believe the answer is yes.
Build a statue for that man as Mark Robins pumps his fist in the direction of the Coventry board, sat front row of the directors' box.
Well, they're like the biggest fan club, aren't they? The Mark Robins fan club, the board of directors.
I am sure that Mike Ashley will allow it outside the CBS Arena. Build him a statue. Mark Robins appointed in 2017, started the rebuild in 2018. League 2 and League 1 promotions followed. A new 4-year deal for the boss confirmed this afternoon. And that is why the Sky Blues are off to Wembley. And once again, I look over to that southeast corner. What a moment for those fans. What a moment for Coventry City.
Yeah, well, look, those supporters over there have been through a lot, haven't they? They've had to go to various grounds around the Midlands area supporting their team because they didn't have their own stadium. They've sunk to the depths of League 2. They've had crowds, very, very low crowds, sparse around the old Rico Arena, now the CBS.
We thought they were going to get evicted from their ground this season.
It's been horrendous for them, and now, you know, they're one match away from the Premier League. It's brilliant. And what a great playoff final we've got. Luton Town against Coventry City, 2 old school top flight clubs, and one of them is going to be back in the big time.
Saturday the 27th of May, live on TalkSport, the Championship playoff final, Luton Town against Coventry in Danta. Top call as ever, so come in on this as well. Looking forward to that.
Well, Luton Town or Coventry City, either a magnificent story of recovery, Phoenix from the ashes, call it what you will. Luton have long had a problem with the points deduction in the league, demotion, and crawling their way back from obscurity, the years they spent in non-league, and players like Pelly, Roddick and Panto embody that journey and that strength that Luton have shown. Penny for the thoughts of Watford fans looking at Rob Edwards taking the team to Wembley. I think Forest Green fans knew they had a decent manager on their hands when he was in charge there, and he won the title for them. I mean, I think all those Coventry players over there are saluting each individual fan one by one, because they've not left that corner of the stadium. They're just taking it all in, which is lovely. They're taking in a moment like this, which they should savour, but they're going to have to recalibrate, concentrate, because as we mentioned before kick-off, Luton Town have a very specific set of dangers that they offer. Morris and Adebayo. I love the way Alan Campbell's been turned into almost a number 10 from more of a defensive midfielder.
Jordan Clark's come back recently as well.
Lockyer's been...
Well, Lockyer against Gyökeres is a great duel. You've got one of the best centre-halves in the division against Gyökeres, who is just a brilliant front man.
Yeah, because Lockyer's not the tallest, but he won't be as tall as Gyökeres, but he won't shirk any...
He won't shirk it. It's going to be brilliant. And look, whoever wins that playoff final, it will be a fairy tale story. Luton Town and Coventry, they've it's some comeback for both clubs, and I can't wait for it.
2001, not been in the top flight since 2001. Coventry City, they're now 90 minutes away from the Premier League. Under the most intense pressure, Mark Robins' side stood up, and they did not buckle. Coventry City succeed tonight at the Riverside by a 1-0, beating Middlesbrough Saturday the 27th of May, live over on TalkSport, the Championship playoff final. Luton Town will take on Coventry City. My many thanks to Ian Danter and to Adrian Clark, producer Izzy, for their outstanding work tonight. We'll be back very soon, back at it in League One tomorrow night. We'll see you very soon. Thanks for your company tonight.
EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Ever wondered what it's like to win big on the National Lottery?
Are you somewhere you're able to talk at the moment? Yes, we're at home. Lovely. I've just checked the ticket and I can confirm you are now millionaires. No!
Yes! Imagine if it was you making that call next. The National Lottery. Your numbers make amazing happen.
Is it into the back of the net?
The weekend.